When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
Blog Talk Radio. Writing your book is the easy part. Promoting your book so readers can find and purchase it is the hard part. Welcome to the Author Chat Show, hosted by author-publisher Lynda D. Brown. Follow us at www.facebook.com/authorchat. And to contact the show to promote your book, contact me at theauthorchatshow@gmail.com. Stay tuned and listen to today's show.
Good morning, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Author Chat Show. I'm your host, Lynda D. Brown. My guest today is author Ellen L. Hughes. Ellen is returning to the show to discuss her book, Dental Heaven, Get a Great Smile Without Paying Through the Nose. And if you've had any dental work done recently, you will know exactly what this title is referring to. As I mentioned, this is Ellen's second appearance on the Author Chat Show, and we'll be right back to chat with her about her book after a word from today's sponsor.
PrimeStar Publicity and Public Relations is a full-service firm ready to fill the needs of their clients. Owner Helen Cook has more than 32 years of publicity, public relations, advertising, and marketing experience, and she focuses her professional talents on working with her clients' strengths to create customized, strategic campaigns, whether their needs are great or small. Radio, TV, print, internet, publicity, marketing, creating a social media presence, branding, client positioning, author tours, speaking events. These are just some of the services PrimeStar provides for their clients. For a complete list of services and other information about the company, please visit our website, www.primestarpublicity.com, or email Helen at helen.cook@primestarpublicity.com, or phone 903-654-0938. PrimeStar's home office is located in the Houston, Texas area.
All right, welcome back to the show. For those of you just tuning in, my guest today is author Ellen L. Hughes. Ellen returns to the Author Chat Show to discuss her book, Dental Heaven, Get a Great Smile Without Paying Through the Nose. Ellen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back, Lynda. I appreciate it, and I think we're going to have a good time today.
I think we really are, Ellen, because I think you have touched on a subject, just like you mentioned in the brief synopsis of your book. We're going to be talking about some things that a lot of people are afraid to ask about going to different countries, and in this particular case, Mexico, for dental work. So, again, I bow down to Ellen. She is definitely the expert. But one thing I would like to to mention about this book. Now, Ellen, this book has great information about where to go to Mexico for dental work, and it gives you all kind of details. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But before we do, for those that might not have caught you on the first time that you were on the show, why don't we get started with you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, well, okay. I'm sure, Lynda, I've been an author for many years. What I do is when I find something that I need more information on and I don't find it in books or anywhere, then I write it myself. I'm a very detailed, organized person. The first thing I wrote on was government auctions because none of the government agencies were communicating with each other. So you couldn't find what each agency was selling and all of their parameters and all of their rules and regulations. You had to contact each one of them. So the first book I did was pulling all that together, which the government hadn't done, of course. So that was my first start. And then since then, I've written several other books, like on natural healing, on how to deal with attorneys, how to re-energize yourself, and then dental heaven. I also actually wrote created a what am I trying to say? A procedures policy manual template, so small businesses can create their own manual easily, and it'll be specific to their company. So that's what I've been doing. I've got a lot of interest, Lynda.
And Ellen, I'm sure it did because, like I mentioned, dental work is so incredibly expensive. Oh my goodness. Is this one of the things that inspired you to write your book?
There's a couple of reasons, and yes, definitely. Expense was one of the first and foremost reasons. But I'll tell you another reason. I'm sure other people have had this problem too. One time I went to a dentist, and they shot me in the roof of my mouth with Novocaine, and my eyes started to wiggle. And it scared the heck out of me. And I said, what is going on? They said, oh, don't worry about it. I go, well, yeah, I was going to worry about it. It only happened for a couple seconds, but, so there is that side of it, too, the expense being the main side. But I started to question some of their techniques and some of their bedside manner. When I finally started going to Mexico and having work done and talking to some of those dentists down there, now a lot of them come up to the States and, do their internship. And I had at least two of them, and at least two of them said to me, I can't believe how they treat you up there. I can't believe how the dentists treat their patients. They treat them like sheep. They, there's no personal attention. It's just like they're running them through this mill. And he said, I don't want to work there anymore. He was thinking about actually moving up here. One of them said he was thinking about moving up here, but he said, I didn't like the way they treated the patients. So, there's a couple of different reasons why I wrote this book. And so then, I just wanted to let other people know because, like you said earlier, people are afraid of going to another country to get work done. Oh, but then the place that I go to, the dentists are all Mexican or, from some Central American, South American country.
Okay.
But they're all from there. But all the clients, all the patients that are walking around, they're all American. They're all Canadian. They're all from other parts of the world. They really badly kept secret. A lot of people know about it, but then a lot of people don't. So that's what I wanted to let people know, that there are options.
There are options, absolutely. Ellen, one of the things that came to my mind as I was listening to you talk about the interns that came over here, they're absolutely correct. I've always felt like going to the dentist was like visiting a medieval torture chamber. You would think in 2016, with all the advances in technology and in the medical field, that you can actually fix somebody's tooth without people gripping the armchair cushion. And, it's just ridiculous. So it's one of the things, and I think this is what we talked about when we discussed having you on the show, because that's one of the issues that I have with dentists. I'm terrified of them because unfortunately, when I was a child, we went to what we call a public hospital that also had a dental facility, and they treated us like crap. And you know, and it, my teeth look, and I hate to say it, I'm just going to put it out there and on record, my teeth look horrible for the simple fact that I am afraid of going to the dentist. That's just something that it has to be, I have to be in a great deal of pain. And, of course, you know, by that time, the only thing you can probably do is just pull it. But I just absolutely abhor going to the dentist. And I think that's crazy in 2016 that we still have people afraid of going to the dentist. So
yes,
what would you
go
exactly?
Ahead.
For someone like me that would consider going to Mexico for dental treatment, what does that do to kind of alleviate my fears regarding the pain and the experiences that I've had before? Is there a difference there?
Oh, like night and day, Lynda. First of all, let me address what you just said about how afraid you are of going to the dentist. And I know a lot of people are. I mean, I grew up in the dentist chair because I had braces. I had my front tooth knocked out when I was like in first grade, so I had a temporary.
Oh, wow.
You know, I've lived my life in the dentist chair. Fortunately, I had a wonderful dentist. I'm from a really small town. Everybody knew him. I mean, you know, he was good. What I want to impress upon everybody here, yes, okay, you are afraid of going to the dentist, but consider the options, because when you have teeth problems, when you have problems in your mouth, what is your mouth closest to? It's closest to your brain.
Right.
So when you have teeth problems, if you have fillings that, you know, maybe still have the silver in it that they used to put in, or if you aren't taking care of your teeth, it directly affects your brain. And since it's so close in proximity, you may be looking at more than just problems in your mouth. So it's very, very important to get your teeth taken care of. Okay, so what are the great things about Mexico? Let me tell you, Lynda, first and foremost, one of the things that scares me up here, that I abhorred the most, that I dreaded the most going to the dentist, was the shot of Novocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people hate that. Well, and it always hurt. It hurt more than anything else they did to me. And, of course, then you're left drooling like some hunchback of Notre Dame, you know, for the next 3 hours. You know, you can't do anything with your mouth. You can't talk. Well, let me tell you, the first time, and I've been down to Mexico several times now, the first time I went down there, and the first dentist I went to, well, the only dentist I went to that time, he had me move my lower jaw to the left, my upper jaw to the right, and he gave me a shot of Novocaine. And I tell you, Lynda, on a scale from 1 to 10, it was like a -1. I didn't feel anything.
Wow. And I've never heard a dentist tell me to do that.
I've never had any dentist here tell me that either. It's like I'm like, go ahead and shoot me up again. You know, it didn't hurt. It was amazing. So I don't know where this particular dentist trained, but like I said, I've been down there since, and they all do it that way. So what do American dentists don't know that Mexican dentists do? I mean, they aren't teaching them that in school here, so that is one big thing.
Okay.
Another thing is up here, I started to notice this several years ago, and this is the reason I actually first went down there, was because I was trying to I had some work done, and then everything was done, everything was paid for, and I went back in and I said, well, this one tooth still hurts. Oh, well, we're going to have to charge you more for that. It's like, you already went through everything and told me everything I needed to get done, and now you're saying more? Why didn't you tell me this in the first place? Plus, I was going there to get a night guard because I grind my teeth 4 times. 4 times they tried to make the night guard, and they couldn't get it to fit. So I was like, okay, I'm done with you. So then I talked to a friend of mine who travels the world, and he said, get your work done in Mexico. Get your dental work done in Mexico. He gave me a name of a dentist to go to. And so that's when I started going down there. One thing I noticed, and it's been getting progressively worse through the years, is originally when you went to the dentist, if you needed a crown, if you needed a root canal, if you needed cleaning, One dentist did it all. Now everybody specializes. Have you noticed that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you go to one dentist and you get a cleaning done. They say, oh, you need a deep cleaning done, but I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go over here and spend, $200-300 to get that done. And if you need a crown, then you have to go over to this other specialist. Like,
yeah.
When
it's
you
crazy,
go down there, it is. And it's just like, it just makes me so mad. They are just, and not nickel and diming. It's like $100 and $1,000 you to death.
Exactly. Now, one of the questions that I would have to ask Ellen, and I think that most of those that are listening to the show would be this. Okay, so you had a very bad experience in the U.S. with your dentist. So a friend recommended that you try his dentist in Mexico. Were you afraid to go to a different country for treatment?
No, because this friend I trusted implicitly, and I knew he was.
Okay.
And guess what? I went down there by myself.
Oh, okay.
I went down there by myself. So, no, it was great when I got to the border. Now, I stayed in the U.S. I stayed overnight in the hotel in the U.S., but then I walked across the border every day because I was there for 2-3 days, I think. But let me tell you, it was cheaper for the airfare, for the hotel, for the rental car, and the work than it was for just the work up here. That's
oh, my goodness.
That, and
so
it was good work.
Are you serious? You were able to pay airfare, round trip, right?
Right.
3-day hotel stay, car rental,
hotel stay. Yes.
And to get the dental work done. And it was cheaper than what? Probably a root canal here in the U.S.?
And I think I'm looking in my book because I did go down there for a root canal. Okay, now, remember, this was in 2010. Just guess how much a root canal was. Just guess.
Okay, how much? Well, recently I had a root canal done. So I want to say it was, and again, guys, this is with insurance, okay? I have dental insurance. So so what I had to pay out of my pocket was, I want to say it was maybe $600 for the actual root canal itself, and then another $400 to $500, because I know it was over $1,000 for just the cap after they removed the tooth and put the cap on. Well, they didn't remove the tooth, but you know what? They went in and took the root out, and then they put the cap over it. And then the cap fell off like a couple of years later.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
okay, are you
so
sitting
tell
down?
us. I'm sitting down.
Sitting down, right?
Are you guys ready? Ella's doing the big reveal. How much was it in Mexico for a root canal? And you said this was in 2010? Exactly. You said this was 2010?
2010, right? 6 years ago.
Okay.
$200.
Tell us.
$200.
Are you serious?
$200 for the root canal. $180 for the crown, for a porcelain crown.
What? Root canal. Okay, I'm writing this down because I'm putting it on our website. And how much was the crown?
The crown, the porcelain crown, was $180.
Oh my God. X-rays
were 20. And I had some other teeth filled, 80.
Okay.
Now, the root canal. Okay, the total for everything. It was $682 at that time. It was $682 for airfare, the rental car, hotel, gas, and food.
Okay.
$682. So $200 for the root canal, $180 for the crown, $20 for the X-rays, $80 for the fillings. That is a total, Lynda, of $1,152. And here in the States at that time, and I had dental insurance too, it was $1,200 for the root canal here. So $1,200 for the root canal, or $1,152 for everything in Mexico.
Wow, that is crazy. Now, Ellen, let me ask you. It's ridiculous. Do they also do the dental implants down there?
Oh, Lynda, good question. Yes, they do. At my last trip down there, let me just tell you, I had ground my teeth a lot, so I really needed a lot of replacements. So I was down there for like a week. And this time I stayed in Mexico, which it was fine. It was a really nice hotel. It was a privately owned hotel. It wasn't like a Sheraton or a Hyatt or anything like that. Stayed in the hotel and had a swimming pool. When I was out in the swimming pool, I met a gentleman who was having implants.
Okay.
And he was such a sweet man. He said he had not gone out with his wife to dinner or anything for years because he was so ashamed of his teeth. And I only saw him in the middle of it. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. That's one of the things, probably the worst things down there is when you walk around in the stand, everybody, they're hiding their teeth until they get the work done, and then they're smiling like crazy. But he had really bad teeth, I could see. And they actually took some other bone, I think it was from his hips, and they did it down there. And he had already had the implant done there, and he was so happy. So he was so happy that he had it done, and I can't tell you the price on that, but I'm sure it's a heck of a lot cheaper than the U.S. So, yes, you know what, Lynda, they do everything down there. They do it all down there. Oh, yeah.
Now, tell us, Ellen, now, I had asked you to maybe read an excerpt from your book, but actually I think these questions are so wonderful because Ellen was generous enough to send me a list of questions so that we can cover a lot of good stuff for you guys to listen to, so that way when you go get the book, you'll know exactly what to expect. So do you mind if we decide not to read the excerpt and just kind of really go over some of these questions that you sent me? Because one of the – okay, great. One of the things I'd like to discuss – okay, great. Seasons to go there. What's the best season to go there to Mexico?
Okay. Like I said, most of it, everybody I met down there that was a patient was either U.S. or Canadian. So, and a lot of these people are snowbirds. A lot of these people are retired. So, if you go down from, say, October to April, May, it's going to be really busy because they're all down there. Okay. So, I mean, you could still get work done there. But let me tell you, a couple different things. Like I said, the first time I went down there, I stayed in the U.S., and then I walked back across the border at night. The first day I did that, the line was so long, it was like about a 2-hour wait, to get back to across the border. And, of course, make sure you have your passport, or else they aren't going to let you out of Mexico.
That's right.
But when I stayed there, when I stayed in the hotel in Mexico, then that wasn't an issue. But if you are planning on staying in the U.S. and crossing over, I would recommend going during the hot months, going during the summer months, because it's not as crowded.
Gotcha.
It's not as crowded. Yeah. So for the season, and then also let me say one other thing. You want to try. It would be a good idea to try and get your appointment either in the morning or late in the afternoon, because if you are walking across the border, the most heavily traveled time across the border is like from 2 to 5.
Right.
So you want to kind of schedule it that way. But if you're going to stay in Mexico, then like I said, this is not an issue. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, and actually that was my question. What hotels do you normally stay in, and are you close to like the touristy areas in Mexico, or more non-touristy? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you that the town I go to is about 12 square blocks.
Okay.
So I stayed in the hotel there, and I walked to my appointments. I didn't rent a car the last couple of times I've been down here because I actually stayed in Mexico, and I didn't need a car. And now, also, if you do go down there and you rent a car and you take it into Mexico, make sure you have Mexican insurance. Okay.
Okay.
But see, this town is very small. And let me make this very strong statement. There are no problems there with drug people, anything like that, this town watches out for you.
Okay.
They are very protective of their clients, so of their patients. So, the only thing, I have read different reviews on it, and I guess there was one bar there where some people got ripped off. They went in there late at night. So, just be smart. Go back to your hotel at night and hang out there. Don't be walking around at night. Besides, Lynda, they literally roll up the streets like about 5 o'clock at night. You have all these street vendors out selling you things all during the day, but I think it's 6 o'clock, they're all gone. So there's not a whole lot to do there. It's a destination place. It's not a place to go and think you're going to have other things to do. But now that I've said that, let me say one other thing. This last time I was down there, Lynda, I was so amazed. They are really starting to get into the alternative health industry, and that is one of my real interests. They even have a hyperbaric chamber there.
Oh, wow.
And you know what that is, right?
Sure, that was the Michael Jackson thing that he.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
It was there the first time I went there, but they were closed. It was so funny with oh my God, the first time I ever went there, the hyperbaric chamber was there, but it was closed, they were on vacation. But it was there was a taco store, there was a clothing store, and there was a hyperbaric chamber in this little strip mall. It's oh, really? So I tried to get in to use it this last time I was there. There was a waiting line. Right. They have chelation down there. Chelation is when this was kind of weird, but for the people who don't know what chelation is, they get IVs stuck into their arms and they draw out their blood, a lot of it, I don't know how much. They clean it up and then they put it back in. They oxygenate the blood. And I was in this one doctor's office because I wanted to talk to him about it. I just was interested in it. Some lady I'd met on the street had told me about it. And when I was sitting there talking to the doctor, another door opened up and I saw all these people sitting on lazy boy chairs. They all had IVs in their arms. It was kind of like a science experiment picture, It looked kind of strange. But they do have a lot of that going on there. So now there is, dentistry is the main industry. You can also get glasses down there. There's several ophthalmologists. Let me tell you, there's 300 dentists in a 5-block area.
Oh, wow. So big business down there for them. Absolutely.
And they take care of their patients. Mm-hmm. They're very, because they want to keep their good reputation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Ellen, I think customer service, like you mentioned earlier, is one of the things that's sadly lacking in the medical industry as a whole, not just the dental field. So,
right. Yeah,
now,
you're so right.
Yeah. Another thing that you mentioned, you said you can actually barter for different things. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. It's like going to the flea market. You walk down the street, and now that's one thing. The first time you go down there, it's very exciting, and everybody's going, "Hey, lady, hey, lady, hey, lady, hey, lady, hey, lady,"
Right.
But then after a while, it gets a little tiring, and then you learn how to turn your hearing off.
Exactly. And you mentioned so don't try to buy silver down there. It's not a really good deal. Is that correct?
No, and a lot of times, I bought a couple of silver bracelets down there. I thought I was getting a good deal. Well, after a couple of years, the silver was rubbing off, and there was whatever underneath. So don't go down there. You can, of course, but don't expect to get something of really good quality. They've got a lot of cool stuff down there, little knickknacks and clothes, and it's really a wonderful place to just go through. Now, let me say one other thing that I didn't write to you about. Now, the drugs down there, pharmaceutical drugs.
Okay.
Now, everybody says you can go down to Mexico and get these drugs for a lot cheaper. Yes, you can. You can buy knockoff drugs. You can't buy, name a drug. I'm blanking out. Name a like Xarelto. Well, I don't even know what that's for, but it popped into my mind. So if you went down there and bought Xarelto, you would pay the same amount. You would pay the same amount you would in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
But they have a lot of generics down there, which is a whole lot cheaper, which would be harder to buy here in the U.S.
Absolutely. And what about drugs that they give you for paying for you after your dental procedure, like Percocet or Valium or whatever? I'm not really a drug. Thank God. I don't really take too many pills, so I'm not, like you, not real sure what they call them. But how inexpensive is that after your surgery?
Well, for me, it was $0. They gave them to me. They gave them.
You didn't even
gave me.
He gave you the pain pills? Oh, my goodness.
He gave me, but I'm really trying to remember what he gave me, but because the last time I went down, I had quite a few crowns, but I got to tell you this story. This was good. But, no, he gave me, a little packet of like 6, I think, I'll have to say like extra strength Tylenol or something. It wasn't really, no, he did give me something a little bit stronger. But, no, there was no charge.
Wow. And one last thing. Wow.
Sure,
one last thing before we wrap it up. What about water and food down there? You know, we've always heard the thing, and I've been to the Mexican resorts. Of course, we didn't have an issue with the water because we were on the resorts. What about water and food down there where you're staying to get your dental work done?
Okay. Let me think now. Water, I mean, when I stayed there and I stayed at the hotel, I guess I did buy some bottled water, but then I drank it drank tap water. It was okay because, they're really trying to accommodate people from all over the world. So their water was clean where I was. It was clean. The food, here's one thing. So, one thing you got to remember when you're going down for dental work, you probably aren't going to be that hungry because you're getting your teeth worked on. But you know what they funny? I just cracked up. Went into the grocery store to buy some food to put in my little refrigerator in the hotel. And when I walked in, and this was before I had any work done, I walked in and guess what they were doing? Here in the United States, you go into the grocery store and they give you little taste samples of chips and whatever. There, they had little samples. They had little samples of tequila.
Oh.
You just walk in and they go, here, you want to try some tequila? It's like, well, why not?
Okay. That should definitely make your trip memorable. Wow.
I tell you, I did eat at a couple of restaurants, and they were good.
Okay.
Do remember that their food is a little bit hotter than what you're used to. So if they say, you want mild, medium, or hot, I'd always opt for the medium until you make sure you can handle the other hot ones.
Absolutely. Well, Ellen, believe it or not, our time is up. For our listening audience, again, I'm chatting with author Ellen L. Hughes. The title of the book is Dental Heaven. It's a great cover. Get a great smile without paying through the nose. Currently on Amazon, the Kindle is $2.99. The paperback is $6.49. For those of you that like to purchase your book locally, feel free to go to your local bookstore. If you don't see it on the shelf, go to the customer service desk and order it. They can get it in there to you, get it out. You'll probably have it within 3 business days. That's usually what I do if I'm looking for something locally. Ellen, great book. You should also put this in audio book if you get an opportunity. I think I am.
You said that,
ahead,
and, my list of things to do is so long. One thing I would like to point out to the people, to your listeners, is, as Lynda said earlier, I have other books, and we've talked before on the radio. If you want to see everything I offer, go to my website, The McKee Company. That's TheMCKee company.com. And then you can see everything. You also can buy books on there. My books on there.
Absolutely.
So
we will make sure that we put it on the Author Chat Facebook page. Like I said, you guys should remember Ellen from the last time that she was on the show. But Ellen, you did a great job the last time, but I think this program was so informative, and we're going to definitely try to get the word out, because I think more and more people should do this. This is something that is not talked about, and a lot of people don't know about it, Ellen.
Yes, like I said, it's a really badly kept secret. Everybody who goes there knows about it, and they know it's safe, but the people who don't know about it think it's very scary. And when you don't, you know, it's like anything. When you don't know about it, it is scary until you find out, and then you go, oh, my heavens, I'm going to Mexico.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, guys, Ellen, have you seen any people coming down to Mexico, either from the U.S. or Canada, in a group tour to have people, you know, say, for instance, if you need if you have a church group, a lot of people, especially seniors that need their work done.
You know, Lynda, I haven't, but, you know, I kind of toyed with that idea about leading a group down there, you know, and being like the guide. So maybe you and I should talk about this later.
I think we should, because like I said, I know for myself, this would definitely be a great alternative to what I deal with next year.
Let's do talk about this. I'll give you a call. You give me a call, and we'll start working on this. Oh, we'll have a whole bunch of people with great smiles and drunk on tequila.
Right, exactly, right. And so we'll have to do like a church group and a not church group, so that way they can enjoy the tequila. Wow. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for once again coming on the show and sharing your information. This is a wealth of information. This is just great. This is, oh, my goodness. And one thing that I love about the book, for guys, it's not that it's only 44 pages. So, you know, it's not going to take you a lot of time to actually read it, but she has information in here, and I'm going to go over this briefly, and I'll put this information on the Facebook fan page. Pricing, preparation for the trip itself, the appointment, the city, recommendations, leaving Mexico, the total cost, and then she just sums it all up in her summary. So I highly recommend that you get a copy of the book, and again, it's called Dental Heaven. Looks like heaven with a blue back cover. I love that. And the beautiful smile on there. Get a great smile without paying through the nose. And unfortunately, most of us here in the U.S., we pay through the nose for dental work.
Right.
Oh, wow. Any final words before I let you go, sweetie?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lynda. And I'll be calling you about maybe a guided tour. I think that's a great idea.
I think it is too, absolutely, sweetie. So we'll definitely we'll work on that, guys. And if we come up with something, we'll let you know and tell you what you can do to be a part of this tour, because I just think it's something that more and more people need to know about. I really do. You know, so thank you again for coming on and sharing this information with us.
Thank you so much for having me on, Lynda. I appreciate it. So. All right.
Anytime. I look forward to hearing from you on the other side, okay?
Okay. All right.
So we can talk about that tour. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, sweetheart. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so that's author Ellen L. Hughes. And I guess as you can hear, we enjoy each other when she comes on the show. She's a wonderful lady. Never met her in person, but she's always a pleasure to have on the show, as are most of my authors. And again, the title of the book is Dental Heaven. Get a great smile without paying through the nose. Again, currently on Amazon, the Kindle is $2.99 and the paperback is $6.49. Seriously, guys, I'm going to be chatting with Ellen to see what we can do as far as coming up with some tours for this. So if you need some dental work done and you just can't afford it here, but you're interested in seeing if we can come up with a package tour, shoot me an email at theauthorchatshow@gmail.com, and in the subject line, please put Dental Heaven tour, And then that way I'll know that this is what you're interested in, and then we'll give Ellen credit because it was actually talked about during her interview with her book, Dental Heaven. So if you're interested, you need some dental help, dental work done, and it's too expensive here in the U.S., and if you are in the U.S., Canada, or any other country, because you know this is a worldwide program, shoot us an email at thearthurchatshow@gmail.com. In the subject line, put in there Dental Heaven Tours, okay, Dental Heaven Tours. And we'll figure out what we can do, and we'll get back with you guys. We promise to email you guys and keep a list of people interested, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, well, guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this was as informative to you as it was for me because, like I said, I'm going to be real honest with you. I am one of those people that you will not see a big wide smile because my teeth look horrible. And I know of some things that I want to do, and I need to get this taken care of. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely asked Ellen to come back on the show and discuss this book. So I hope it helped you as much as it helped me. Now, listen, get out there and make Wednesday the very best day of your life. Take care. Bye-bye.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything!
Sprint and the Kansas City Chiefs are giving fans the chance to win the ultimate Chiefs fan experience. At every home game, one lucky fan and a guest can stand in the Arrowhead Tunnel next to the players during pregame, get a private tailgate and sideline access, sit in the Sprint suite, and more. It's the ultimate for Chiefs fans. Enter now at your local Sprint store.
No purchase necessary. Open to 18 or older, legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. Void where prohibited. Ends 12/16/16. Visit Sprint store or dealer for official rules, odds, and prize descriptions. Sponsored by Sprint Communications Company, LP.